The following program is provided to you in part by the RE/MAX A-Team.
What it takes to go green, the newest program in the Marlboro public school system. Alternative ways to help heal what ails you. It's all coming up now in this issue of the magazine. Hello and welcome to another issue of the magazine. I'm Dan Ginden. More and more people are learning how to go green. It used to be all about saving the environment, and that is still important, but another positive aspect is the money you can save.
We make hundreds of decisions every day, thousands of choices that impact our lives for the good, bad, and indifferent. Not only do these decisions impact us directly, but also the world we live in. Greener living requires examining and modifying some of your long-term living patterns in order to alter them in a positive direction. In this piece, we will provide you with specific and effective tips to help reduce your impact on the environment, how you can make green improvements that will stick with you for life. Lucky for us, Green Marlboro co-founder Jennifer Boudry feels a responsibility to help others in their quest to go green.
As an educator, my interest, of course, is educating people on what they would like to know more about. I think I just feel a personal responsibility in educating myself and then sharing that with other people.
As Climate Action Network co-founder Jennifer Boudry is about to show us, going green begins as your solar alarm clock sounds.
This is a solar alarm clock. It's like a little calculator that uses a little solar panel to charge itself all the time. It doesn't require electricity. I've had it for 15 years and it doesn't require batteries, so it's very, very low impact on the environment.
Let's stay in the bedroom just for a moment and see how Jen keeps warm at night as the thermostat goes down.
We have flannel sheets and we also have these wonderful comforters and blanket. They're from LL Bean. They last a long time. The quality's good and they're very washable, so they keep very, very warm at night.
Next, it's on to the bathroom. Take short showers. Replace your current shower head with a water control valve. With water flowing up to 5 gallons per minute from a non-conserving shower head, showers consume about 1/5 of water used indoors. Turn off the water when you are brushing your teeth or shaving.
In the morning when you brush your teeth, you can have one hand on your toothbrush and the other hand on the faucet, and that way you can reduce the amount of water that's being used.
Replace your old toilet with an ultra-low flush model, which will save you several gallons of water per flush.
This is a low-flow faucet aerator. It runs at 1.5 gallons per minute. You can look at the aerator and see how efficient it is. It might say 3.0 gallons or 2.5 gallons, but you can find them that are 1.5 gallons. One is that you reduce the amount of water that you're using. The other is that you also reduce the amount of electricity that the city needs to use to process the wastewater at the wastewater treatment plant.
You can contact the MWRA and state that you would like a free water saving kit, and they will send you some free things for your home that will help you conserve water. Next, on to the kitchen. Buy organic foods. Organic farms use natural growing practices, which equals much healthier food for you.
Over the past year, I've sort of transitioned my own eating to more local and organic food, probably over 50%. And it's much healthier for me and for the environment. Some of the things I have, for example, are organic milk, also some organic yogurt, which I drink every once in a while, which is very healthy. The average food product has to travel 1,500 miles to get to your home.
Jen says it's good to look at the package to see where it was produced. This allows you to see if you can find something else that was produced locally. Essentially, you would be supporting local growth and reducing the amount of energy that's required to transport that product to your home. Buy several cloth napkins and use them instead of paper ones at home. Cloth napkins can be used several times before washing, and it reduces the amount of waste you produce. Buy in bulk. Cut back on using single-use products that consume needless extra paper and plastic for packaging. Use the dishwasher only for full loads for the most efficient water use.
When it gets to the dryer stage, I will stop the dishwasher and open it up so that it can dry naturally. It can air dry.
Compost scraps from the kitchen to produce rich fertilizer for your garden.
If you compost, it reduces the amount of food that goes into the waste stream or organics that go into the waste stream.
Utilize that microwave. Refrain from heating up your big oven for that lonely slice of pizza.
Microwaves are more efficient to reheat something than putting it on the stove and reheating it on the stove here. And if you have something small, like fish sticks or something, it's more energy efficient to put them in the toaster oven rather than your big old oven.
Let's do some laundry.
I use full loads of clothes when I wash. I use warm or cold water and not hot water when I use the washing machine.
Only wash full loads of laundry and buy a phosphate-free detergent. Phosphates are a cause of oxygen depletion in water, leading in the loss of aquatic life and cost the city lots of money to remove such chemicals from wastewater.
If I use the dryer, I will take the lint out every time so that the airflow is very good. It's very efficient. I discovered a beautiful locally made wooden rack that holds a full load of clothes. A lot of times I don't use the dryer. The clothes dry actually fairly quickly. When you clean your house, it's good to think about the kind of chemicals you use to clean the house because they will, put chemicals into the air, and you don't want to, create air pollution in your own home. So it's good to try to use green chemicals when you can. Sometimes we don't realize that a lot of these chemicals that we think are good for us sometimes aren't so good for us. They can cause reactions. Sometimes the air quality in your home can be worse than the air quality outdoors because of poor chemicals. I think a lot of people have heard that asthma cases are up considerably in recent years because of the chemicals that we're breathing in.
You have to look closely, but Jen keeps her living room draft-free by utilizing something we're all familiar with, plastic wrap.
You can hardly notice it's there, and it makes it much more comfortable when we're sitting on the couch. It prevents any tiny leaks from coming through and also provides, again, another cold air barrier.
Her television is a product from Energy Star, and because she does tend to keep her thermostat pretty low, she always has throw blankets on the couch to keep everyone nice and warm.
This couch is a leather couch, so it can be a little bit colder than a fabric couch, so it's nice to have the blankets nearby.
Next, let's get into that office.
Over time, if you have things accumulating in your office like these cords and these discs, you can get a box and put all these things in them and send them to Green Disc, and they will take them and take care of them.
Don't forget to use both sides of scrap paper, and when you do need more for the office, buy recycled paper.
Much better for the environment, actually. It's you reduce the number of trees that are being chopped down. We need our trees to help with the air quality.
And don't forget the 3 R's.
Recycling is a very important part of going green. We can reduce the amount of energy that's used to transport our trash. We can reduce the amount of space needed for landfills. We can reduce the amount of methane that's escaping into the environment because of the trash that's decomposing. So reducing trash is very important. And recycling is very important, so we can reuse those materials. We have a recycling bin here. It's very easy to toss things in, and then we have curbside pickup every 2 weeks. So we have a paper recycling basket over here. I usually have a paper bag, and I put every scrap of paper in this bag. It could be, the macaroni box from the kitchen. It could be the paper box for the soap, newspapers, any kind of paper at all. That's not soiled goes into the recycling bag for pickup. I don't have a lot of recycled material to put out, and I don't have a lot of trash to put out because I've reduced my junk mail. You can actually contact organizations that send you junk mail very easily, and I've reduced my need to recycle paper at least 50%. You can easily put out about 5 to 10 pounds of paper every week, and if you reduce your junk mail, you can reduce your paper recycling. It's much better for the environment.
Okay, now here are some tips to really save some energy. Clean your refrigerator gaskets regularly and vacuum the condenser coils twice a year.
It's important to take care of your appliances so that they run properly. The dust or something like that might impact the fan or the filter in some way, and they're more efficient when they're clean and running well.
Wrap your water heater in an insulating jacket if it is located in an unheated space, such as your basement.
It will keep your hot water hot.
When shopping for new appliances, look for those equipped with energy-efficient power devices that use only 1 watt or less of energy per hour. Install a thermostat that can be programmed to turn down the heat at bedtime and turn it back up just before you wake in the morning. This could save you up to 20% on heating costs. Schedule an energy audit to learn more about energy consumption and what steps you need to take to cut energy costs.
I called the National Grid and told them I'd like to have a free energy audit. And so they sent someone over and he analyzed the whole house to see what we could do to be more energy efficient. One thing he suggested was to have like an insulation dome over the attic door. So I found a dome, but it didn't quite fit. So I made my own of insulation foam board. And it's very efficient. It basically closes off this area of the attic, and we don't have warm air going up through it in the wintertime. Plastic bags are something that we can easily reduce by using reusable shopping bags.
Every day in this country, 290 million people go about their lives, each and every one having an impact on the world around us.
And people are trying to make a difference, not only in Marlborough, but in towns around Marlborough and in towns around the United States and in towns around the world. I mean, there are people and organizations and cities that are making a difference worldwide these days, because we all see something that we can do to make a difference to help the environment.
The tips that you've seen today don't even scratch the surface on how to really go green. Adopt these simple rules, get used to them, and then educate yourself further. You would be surprised in how interesting this all can be. And thanks to Jen, we are one step closer to understanding the relationship between what we do and our environment. I believe Lyndon B. Johnson said it best. If future generations are to remember us with gratitude rather than contempt, we must leave them with something more than the miracles of technology. We must leave them a glimpse of the world as it was in the beginning, not just after we got through it.
It's important for everyone to think a little bit about going green, because if we all do something, it will make a difference. And it's everyone working together that's going to make a big difference for our environment. Start with one simple thing, you're going to think of other things, and you'll eventually have a simpler lifestyle and probably be a bit happier for it.
For more greening tips, visit greenmarlboro.org. For the magazine, I'm Kristen Doucette.
We are introducing a new segment in this issue of the magazine. Inside Our School takes us inside our schools. This gives us the opportunity to highlight what is happening inside the Marlborough Public School System. Our first story highlights a new program that helps kids learn through the use of music therapy.
The Marlborough Public School System always seems to be a step ahead of the game. This year, they've been able to offer a music therapy program for children with special needs.
As part of our adaptive preschool this year, we were fortunate enough to be given a grant that has allowed us to bring a music therapist in to work with our children every other week for about 45 minutes. It's been a wonderful experience for the staff, for the kids. Music is one of Howard Gardner's 8 multiple intelligences, so it's another way to tap into kids and their potential.
The program is funded by a nonprofit organization called Kate's Voice.
We put out a request for proposals back in September, August-September of this 2007, and classes would apply for a grant, which would give them every other week of 1 hour of music therapy or 45 minutes of music therapy for the whole school year.
The Marlborough Preschool applied for a grant through Kate's Voice.
The grant was brought to us through our grant writer. And I took a look at it and spoke to Tina and decided that it was a fantastic opportunity for my children to possibly be able to take part in this kind of an activity.
We ended up getting about 25 completely qualified applications, and we had only 8 grants to give.
We had to answer various questions about if we already had music therapy or music in our system, which we do not at this level at this moment. What we thought would benefit the children, why we thought music would be a benefit to them, and what music could bring to our program.
We chose them sort of based on the composition of the class, what kind of needs the students had, the ages. We tried to sort of diversify. We didn't want to give all the grants out to the younger students. I think this class in particular is 3 to 5 years of age. We tried to give some to the preschool, some to sort of the 7-8-year-old range, and then some even we've given to high school age and up to the age of 20.
We actually started music therapy in October. and we will be able to offer it for the entire school year this year. We're hoping that Kate's Voice is the organization that funded the program for us. That's who we wrote the grant for. And we're really hoping that they will give us the opportunity to apply again next year so that we would be able to continue.
Kate's Voice is dedicated to helping students with disabilities through the use of music.
My husband Mark and I are the founders. We've been in existence about 2 years, but we started giving grants out about a year ago. The reason why we started it is that we have a daughter, Kate, who's 9, and she has special needs. And we saw how much she loved music and what it did for her and her peers, and just how amazing it was. And so we wanted to make it available to more special needs students.
Kate's Voice not only wants to reach as many special needs students as possible, but also wants to promote music therapy in schools.
Just opening eyes up to that, and it is a real therapy. And hopefully, as time goes on, it will be covered more and more under insurance and in school programs.
The Kate's Voice grant funds a music therapy teacher to come in once a week for 45 minutes to work with a 3 to 5-year-old age group at the Marlboro Early Childhood Center.
The therapy sessions are amazing, and Kathleen is great. She usually comes in with a lesson plan of things she wants to do, but then she will take off on what the children are doing. So if a certain child is vocalizing while she's singing, she may approach that child and vocalize back and forth and engage in a turn-taking opportunity.
This has been the first of the Kate's Voice grants that I've worked on, but I'm so glad because there's so many preschools in our state that don't have music, whether they're for typically developing children or children with special needs, and I'm just shocked by that since I've learned about that. And so the Marlboro program had written a grant and had spoken with me throughout the summer, and was so pleased when we got it. So we started in the fall.
She brings in a lot of gross motor and works very closely with our speech and language pathologist as well as our PT, our physical therapist.
She also plays music for the children to elicit responses from them. And what's really nice about music is that it doesn't matter if a child is able to speak or not speak, they're able to relate to the music and they're able to express themselves through movement.
Kathleen usually starts with the introduction song, and it allows for them to either do a way to speak or sing part of the song, so it allows them to vocally participate. And then she incorporates different types of instruments that are just captivating the kids' interest and allow for them to work on some of these skills kind of indirectly.
There's always a hello and a goodbye song where the children get a chance to greet. Everything else in between are based on language opportunities, so I stopped a new instrument for them to sign for more or ask for more of it. There's language portions, there are movement portions, they're usually, and everything I try to do is multisensory, so I want things for them to see, for them to hear, for them to touch. And so I really like instruments like that ocean drum is a nice example, where it's just very visually appealing. You know, and one side of the drum has a different feeling than the other side of the drum, and you know, I can take this a long ways. But I like things that are multisensory experiences, particularly for these children that need good sensory input, integrated input.
Kathleen explains how important it is for these children to use music therapy for their developmental needs.
It's critical, and it's the easiest way for them to pick up these skills. Like as a speech therapist, I often say, my hands are often tied. There's far less that I feel like I can accomplish as a speech therapist through the type of protocols that we have. And they're good, and they've been developed after years. But as a music therapist, I feel like the world is wide open. I see children responding in ways that I never get to see them in other areas. And what we see, like with the little boy named Alan, he, in the beginning, was jumping always because he's a jumper and he has that energy. But now he sits and he's very quiet in his chair. He will finally leap out of his chair because he sees something that's so desirable. And now he's speaking. You know, he actually was speaking, and in the last 3 weeks, I've seen this more and more.
And how important it is for children with special needs to start these programs as early as possible, as to not miss critical windows of development.
The earlier the better. From the 0 to 7 is a critical window. A child who has limited range of motion may reach for an instrument that they find really desirable, versus if you're doing something in physical therapy and trying to make them stretch, it's just less effective because there isn't that compelling factor. So from a neurological standpoint, music creates both a focus and a distraction.
She's really able to capture their attention, allow for them to participate at their own level of functioning, and they've really been able to do that, really been able to participate with it. And I think it helps work on some of those skills that that they need to work on to be incorporated in the other classrooms.
I'm very happy that we've had the opportunity to do this. I think that we have all benefited, the children as well as the staff, and it's a fantastic opportunity that I do hope we can continue in the future.
I think that the parents that we work with are always great. They're very open-minded. They put a lot of faith in us, and especially in Sue and her staff. And I think that they're just excited whenever we're trying something new. I think that they really have been supportive of the program. We also do see an increase in the amount of vocalization that the children have. Even if they're not speaking with words, we see a lot more vocalization. So they're showing a lot of relatedness to Kathleen as she goes through things.
The staff has been very pleased with the response from the students in the program.
It's been wonderful. The kids respond great to it, and I've seen a lot of things that the kids probably wouldn't have done before. I love watching the way the children react to music therapy and watching, one of them come out with a new word or something like that.
Not to say that every child across the board needs a music therapist, but I think music as a way is another way to address learning. It's one whole other sense other than visual. It's an auditory aspect, and I think that's really important. So I think it's been really useful in our classroom.
We found it very, very good for some of our nonverbal students.
Music is the best thing in the world, so I think it helps them to do some of the things by allowing them to feel comfortable in a nurturing environment.
Music taps into another part of children's brain development. It really enables us to tap into and get them to respond to things where they might not to just on a spoken verbal level. We often use that within the classroom when we're giving directions. We may sing to them as we're washing hands or doing different things and elicit better responses. So in looking at that, we decided that music therapy would really be a great way to work on communication, work on gross motor, work on cognitive skills, and that is all encompassed in her sessions.
I think it's across your lifespan you can create joy and comfort for yourself and have social circles that are meaningful. We know that people get ill less often when they have good social circles, that they have fewer complaints, fewer prescriptions. I mean, there's just so much about that allows us to grow old robustly. And music is something you can do really up until the end of your life.
It allows them to use the communication. We work on gross motor a lot. So in seeing that, I decided to see if we could give it a shot.
The money so far has come from family, and we've had some donations from friends that are starting to come in, and we hope to, in the spring, have a big fundraiser at our house with our friends and ask for donations that way. And my husband plans on going out to corporations and trying to get corporate donations.
The Marlboro Early Childhood Center was lucky enough to get the full grant for music therapy, but will have to reapply next year. If you want to ensure that Kate's Voice has enough money to give out these grants, please visit katesvoice.org for more information on how you can donate. For the magazine, I'm Kelly McLaughlin.
Today, we introduce another new segment on the magazine. Alternative Health gives you another set of options that can help heal what is ailing you. In this issue, we look at the benefits of massage therapy. It's been around a long time, but you may not know all that it has to offer.
In our continuing look into alternative health techniques, today's journey takes us here to the Shine Salon on Union Street in Marlboro. This is home to Elements of Bodywork, a small massage therapy business on a big mission to de-stress your life. People come here for many reasons, to relax, to relieve stress, or just to feel a little bit more comfortable in their own skin. But the services offered here are actually new to me, and they might be new to you too. So let's head inside and find out what these treatments can really do. If you've ever had a massage before, you know firsthand how good it can make you feel. If you haven't, Elements of Bodywork owner Paul Whittier wants you to give it a try because everyone could use a little less stress in their lives.
We all tend to store stress in different ways, and part of it has to do with what the source of the stress is. So typically, the traditional stress is typically stored in the shoulders. So almost all of my clients have something that's going on with the shoulder. The other area that's very common is lower back, and that typically is due to frustrations.
A massage is also for those recovering from sports injuries or pain after an automobile accident, but stress reduction and management seems to be the biggest reason. Whittier's full-time job in the corporate world was so stressful, he experienced digestive problems and was about to have surgery to help, but he wanted to try other options first.
I got into massage therapy because I was completely stressed out from my corporate work, and was facing some surgeries to deal with the results of the stress, and knew I needed to get the stress under control or I was going to go under the knife. So I started looking at alternative care, massage therapy, yoga, hot tubs, saunas, acupuncture, and found that it was in fact helping my stress level, and as the stress level in myself went down, so did the aches and pains.
He used several techniques in combination with massage to become stress-free. He got his wife to change her lifestyle too.
We'd spend a half hour to an hour doing the hot tub and sauna, and we just you could feel instantly the stress that was just, leaving us, going into the building versus coming out. We were two different people.
The change in Whittier was so significant he pursued massage therapy as a career, something he'll continue after retiring from the corporate life in the next couple of years. For now, he's looking to help others. Whittier says a first-timer shouldn't be nervous of massage therapists because the client is in the driver's seat the whole time.
They're basically in control. If the pressure's too much, or the pressure's too little, if the temperature's too cold, it's too warm, to definitely speak up. And I emphasize to them, whether they're coming to me for massage or they're going anywhere for massage, that they should always remember that if there's something that's happening that they're not comfortable about, that they need to speak up and make it comfortable, because that's the whole thing.
Most people will relax within the first few minutes of a session. Their breathing slows, and many clients become so comfortable they drift off to sleep.
Frequently, clients do go off to sleep. Not all, but some do. I always consider snoring a compliment.
The atmosphere during a massage therapy session is designed to enhance relaxation. Soft New Age music, the scent of lavender, candles, and soft lighting all calm you further. A heated massage table topped with soft pillows also helps, but every massage is unique, depending on the client.
10 different people that come to me for a massage are going to get 10 different massages because no one's the same.
On your skin, scented massage oils or cream. Also common, hot towels or hot stones heated to 100 degrees. Another often used tool is called a tuning fork. It uses vibrations to help tight muscles relax.
Instead of going in with knuckles and elbows trying to get the muscles to stop spasming, using a tuning fork and the vibration of the tuning fork on the muscle, oftentimes the muscle will stop the spasming.
Those with chronic and widespread back pain may find relief from the heat in a paraffin peel.
Put a moisturizer on the back, and then I'll paint it with paraffin. Put a piece of plastic over it, 2 hot towels and a bath towel. Then I'll go down to their feet and work on their feet and their legs. By the time I get up to their back, that's been on their back now for a good 15 minutes, and the paraffin just peels off as a single sheet at that point.
Another service available at Elements of Bodywork, ear candling, a technique thousands of years old. One end of the hollow candle is lit with a match, the other end is inserted into the ear canal. The smoke is sent to lessen sinus pressure.
Warmth from the candle, I can almost feel the wax in my ear. Instead of it being hardened, it actually gets a little more fluid. And you can actually feel the slight pressure in the ear changing as it's being done.
For many ailments, these alternative therapies are the perfect medicine. But Whittier has some advice for you, something he wished he had done before turning to massage therapy for his stress relief.
Don't wait for it to flare up till you're in a lot of agony before you come in. Try to understand your own body, and before it starts flaring up, make sure you come in here to have it worked on.
That could just be the key to staying stress-free. For the magazine, I'm Dan Corcoran.
That's going to do it for this issue of the magazine. I'm Dan Ginden. The magazine will return in March with another new episode. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you in the next issue.
This program was provided to you in part by the RE/MAX A Team.